It's a beautiful time to be a Philadelphia sports fan because the Fightin' Phils are on fire, sweeping the Colorado Rockies in 4 games, second straight sweep. Not getting too carried away. The Rockies are absolutely brutal. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up later in the show. But you got Andrew DeCecco today, Mr. Football, no Mikey Miss, Ray Dunn behind the glass. So it's crazy. I looked at something today, Andrew. It's been a little over 100 days since the Philadelphia Eagles won Super Bowl 59. And we are a little over 100 days away from opening night against the Dallas Cowboys. So we are smack dab in the middle. So what I want to do, and this is a big thank you to Saquon Barkley for putting this out there, is I want to take a look back as we get ready for the unofficial start of summer, as we get ready for a fun Memorial Day weekend. I want to have some fun reliving a magical football team, the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles, because Saquon Barkley said on a podcast that he feels this is a top 5 team of all time. Not a top 5 Philadelphia Eagles team of all time. A top 5 team in the history of the National Football League. So we're going to talk about that because I actually think when you look at it, and I got a bunch of reasons why, I think Saquon may be right here, Andrew.
Are you sure about that? Because I may beg to differ. But you can't deny, Bill, that was a special season for the Philadelphia Eagles. And when you look at Saquon Barkley, the output that he had, 2,000 yards, one of only 9 players to do it. And the Eagles have the advantage of winning the Super Bowl. They steamrolled through the NFL playoffs, and they won the Super Bowl. But I may disagree with your opinion there, and Saquon's, with all due respect.
All right. Well, we're going to play with this topic then because I think a lot of people have opinions on this, on whether or not they're the top 5. Is it just recency bias or not? Let me give you some things here, all right? The 2024 Philadelphia Eagles had the most wins ever in the history of the NFL with 18. That tied the 07 Patriots, who did not win the Super Bowl, by the way, the 1985 Chicago Bears, the 1984 San Francisco 49ers. Now, before you make the argument, I understand they played 17 games where other teams only played 16, sometimes even less.
That's where I was going.
All right, but they did win 18 games. They won 16 of their final 17 games to win the Super Bowl, and the only one they lost, Jalen Hurts gets hurt in the first quarter. They had the most points ever in the history of the playoffs. They had the most rushing yards ever in a season combined with their playoff performance. Most rushing yards ever. They were a plus 68 point differential in the playoffs. That's the best since 2002. A plus 50 point differential in the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl alone. That's the best since 2000. A plus 12 turnover differential in the playoffs. Second best ever. They set a conference championship record with 55 damn points. And they're only the second team since the 1970 merger to not only have the NFL's rushing champion, but also the number 1 defense, tying the 1992 Dallas Cowboys. So when I look at this, I don't think this is just a homer opinion or recency bias. This team was flat out dominant, Andrew DeCecco.
Yeah, I mean, they are, but you can't forget the 85 Bears, the 1978 Steelers, the 1972 Dolphins, the 2013 Denver Broncos, which, by the way, they averaged 37.9 points a game. Peyton Manning threw for nearly 5,500 yards. We can go down the list there. No Sean Moreno, 1,000 yards. Demaryius Thomas, 1,400 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns. Eric Decker, 1,288 yards, 11 touchdowns. Julius Thomas, 788, 12 touchdowns. Wes Welker, 778 yards and 10. So you can see where I'm going with this. Those are historic numbers. You look at the 2007 Patriots. They did not seal the deal and win the Super Bowl. Randy Moss, 23 touchdowns. So it's not as crystal clear as what, as you may think.
All right, well, you mentioned, we'll talk about the other ones in a second, but let's first take a look at the 07 Patriots, right? I mentioned this to Ray Dunn. What's up, Ray? Good morning, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Good to see you.
I mentioned this to Ray Dunn before the show. Do we eliminate the 2007 Patriots from the discussion altogether because they didn't win the Super Bowl? See, I think if you are not a Super Bowl champion, as dominant as the 07 Patriots were, I don't even think they could be in the discussion. They did not win the Super Bowl.
That's my next question. What is the criteria? Because you said the best team ever. That still counts. It's a regular season. It's part of the season. And those numbers go into NFL history. So what are the qualifiers here?
My opinion, and we'll get everyone else's opinion on the text board and the phone line 610-632-0975. But my opinion, you have to have at least won the Super Bowl. As dominant as the 07 team was, it's all about championships, man. Like when we look at the 04 Philadelphia Eagles, they were a great team. But we don't say they were the best team in Eagles history because they didn't accomplish the ultimate goal. They didn't win the Super Bowl down in Jacksonville against the Patriots. I think the 07 Patriots have to be eliminated from the discussion.
But when you look back on NFL history, they're largely viewed as one of the best teams ever. When you look at the amount of points that they were able to put up, all the players on their offense putting up career numbers, including Randy Moss, Wes Welker. I think they had Dante Stallworth that year as well. Tom Brady, 50 touchdown passes.
So where would you rank them then? You would put the 07 Patriots above this team?
I'm naming some teams out there that it's not quite as clear as you think. It might not be a slam dunk because let's not forget. Talk about the 78 Steelers. I talk about the 72 Dolphins. Of course, you know what I mean? So it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah. And reminder, the reason that we brought this up is because Saquon Barkley himself said he tells his boys all the time, we were a top 5 team of all time. And what he cited to was they start the season 2-2, and then after the bye week, his exact words were belt to ass. That's what he said going down the stretch.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong when you say 16 of 17 games, and the only one you lose, your starting quarterback, gets hurt. But we'll dive deeper into this because I want to look at where this Eagles team ranked in terms of defensive yards and points, offensive and all that, and we'll compare them to some of the best teams. You just threw out a couple, the 85 Bears, the 72 Dolphins, the 07 Patriots. You really like that 2012 Broncos team.
No, it was 2013, actually.
2013.
Because they got rolled by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Remember he fumbled, or no Sean Moreno or somebody
then
fumbled.
They're out, dude. They lost. I thought you were talking about the Broncos team that won.
According to your criteria.
Yeah, they're out. They're eliminated
but their season was historic.
Now, you didn't mention the 1999 LA Rams.
Or 98 Broncos.
The 98 Broncos. You got the 89 49ers were a pretty damn good team. That 2013 Broncos team, the team they lost to, Legion of Boom, has to be up there. So this is a discussion we want to have today. Do you agree with Saquon Barkley that the Philadelphia Eagles last season were a top 5 team of all time? You could weigh in on the text board or the phone line, 610-632-0975. In fact, Ray, coming out, I want to put up a Twitter poll with this, too, because I want to see where the masses weigh in on whether or not this is a top 5 team or this is just recency bias. But it wasn't just Saquon Barkley who said this was a top 5 team, because coming up after this, I want to remind people something that Jeffrey Lurie said down in West Palm Beach at the Breakers Resort during the owners' meeting back in April, where Jeffrey's hinting maybe not even top 5, maybe best ever. So we'll play that for you coming up. We'll continue this Eagles discussion. We'll get into some Phillies a little bit later on in the show. You got Bill Colarulo, Andrew DeCecco today. As always, Ray Dunn behind the glass. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show, and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos. It's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.